Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 48, recorded on the 12th of February 2024 and released on the 17th of February 2024. And in this episode, I'm going to be reviewing the 2nd of January 2024 episode of Neighbours. So if you haven't watched the last episode, that's going to be happening. If you haven't watched the Neighbours episodes previously, then obviously you might be a bit confused. But obviously, they're standalone to a certain extent because it's a new episode. So it's like, so let's use What If as a perfect example. You could probably jump in and out. You could probably watch episodes 5. You would only need to watch episodes 5, 6, 8, and 9, and you'd probably understand it. But you should watch the whole thing. That's what I suggest, anyway. But yes. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. And as I said in yesterday's episode, we're going to keep going through all the Neighbours episodes, so we're closing the gap, because obviously we're doing one each day. Only 4 episodes release a week, so if I'm doing 7 episodes about it, then obviously that's going to the gap. Whereas, well, if it's 4, if I only reviewed 4 episodes a week, the gap would be the same. But yeah, eventually we should hopefully catch up. So yes, before I get into spoiler territory, though, it's time for my spoiler-free thoughts this episode, which I loved. Cara and Aaron's plan to trick Remy and David, and I enjoyed the scenes with Melanie and Nell. So we'll be spoiler warning now. If you haven't watched this episode, obviously you know what's going to happen. If you haven't and would like to watch it before you watch or listen to my review, you can watch it. Most English-speaking countries is on Prime Video. So yes, here is my spoiler review of the Neighbours episode released on the 2nd of January 2024 in 3, 2, 1. We have the previously recap and the title sequence. Wendy asks Carl about Susan babysitting Asta. Wendy informs Carl that Haz and Holly had broken up prior to Holly nearly drowning. Toadie and Therese talk about Melanie and Nell. David and Aaron talk about Krista. David tells Aaron that the van David used to own with Melanie is up for sale again. David also tells Toadie about this. Carl invites Haz for dinner. Haz agrees to join him and Holly. Toadie and Nell go for a walk and chat about Melanie. Melanie apologises to Nell for shouting at her. Nell apologises to Melanie for getting involved sorting out character references for Melanie. Holly apologises to Haz on Carl's behalf. Melanie tells Nell and Toadie that she isn't being forced to return to the UK. Toadie tells Melanie that the van that Melanie used to own with Amy and then David is for sale. David tells Aaron that Krista and Melanie won't be forced to return to the UK. Aaron apologises to Cara on David's behalf. Carl tells Holly that he knows that's the problem when you've got characters in the same show with similar names. Carl tells Holly that he knows about the break that Holly and Haz had before Holly nearly drowned. Haz arrives at Carl and Susan's for dinner. Tony tells Therese that Melanie doesn't have to return to the UK, as well as the van that Melanie used to own being back on the market. Carl quizzes Haz on several topics, which includes if he's planning on attending the last New Year's Eve party, and if Haz wants to expand the Harold's menu. Aaron tricks David into them having a dinner party with Cara and Remy. Cara has also tricked Remy into attending. Nell checks in with Melanie. Melanie blames herself for David, Aaron and Nicolette leaving Erinsborough. Melanie apologises to Nell for nerdening Nell with all of this information. Holly confronts Carl about his behaviour when talking to Haz. Holly asks Carl to give her some space. Cara convinces Remy to tell David and Aaron a story about Carl. David tells Cara and Remy about Carl being David's mentor whilst David worked at Erinsborough Hospital. David and Remy reach common ground. when they talk about being doctors at some point in their lives. Cara and Aaron's plan seems to have worked. Carl and Melanie talk about Holly. Melanie has been gifted the van she used to co-own and seemingly now fully owns. The gifter is currently unknown. Now finds out about the van being back in Melanie's possession. Therese believes that Toadie bought the van back for Melanie. David and Aaron catch up with Remy and Cara after their dinner party last night. Therese tells Toadie that Melanie has her van back, and the episode finishes off with a coming up trailer. So yes, that's my review of the Neighbours episode, released on the 2nd of January 2024. So like I keep reiterating, we're just going to keep going with the Neighbours episodes, so every day there will be a Neighbours review for the foreseeable future until we've caught up. But obviously they're going to keep going, because obviously the other big ones, so DC, Marvel and Doctor Who, they're not out all year round. Like Neighbours has episodes out as 4 episodes out a week, normally for 52 weeks or so. Yeah, kind of all year round. Obviously not every day like the podcast, but yeah. So let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions of what you would like me to review and cover. You could either put it in the comments section of any episode of the podcast, or put it in the community post that if you go onto the channel, you see it, there's a community tile section. There we are, community section. Click on community, and then it'll have the latest post, which is about the suggestions that I've had so far. Remember, you can please let me know what you thought about the episode if you watched it in my review, if you didn't. And remember, you can do all of those things in the comments below, but you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 48. Goodbye.